Mo's Knows fam, know it alls. Welcome back into the channel. We are continuing, we are moving right along in our team mock draft series. Today, we are on episode, I believe, what is it, 13? Oh, wow. Episode 13. We are taking over the New York Jets. Jets. The Jets have 8 picks in this draft, so we will be taking over and making selections for the 2023 rookie class. Oh, no, not 8 picks. I'm sorry. We have 6 picks. Double checking the notes. We got 6 picks. So let's not waste any time. We got 6 picks. This should be quick. I'm going to select the Jets. We won 7 rounds. Fat turbo was a little too fast. Auto settings are going to stay default. Enter the draft. And let's get started. Whoa. Why are they doing me like this? Now we need a tackle at 13. But we also are drafting this team with the thought that Aaron Rodgers is going to be the quarterback. And I know he's trying to get his guys in the building. They already got Allen Lazard. And yeah, I know we have Corey Davis and Garrett. But putting Garrett Wilson and Jackson Smith-Njigba back together is absolutely crazy. How could I not do that? The only other option for me is, obviously we need a tackle. So I could go Anton Harrison from Oklahoma or Broderick Jones from Georgia. Me personally, I'm higher on Broderick Jones. I would take Broderick Jones over Anton Harrison because I know we need a tackle, and I know we have picks 42 and 43, but of the tackles, like Darnell Wright, he could possibly be there. Oh my gosh, bro. See, sometimes I hate when this simulation does me like this. In most of the mocks I do, Jackson Smith-Njigba is still on the board. I have him going as early as 15 to the Packers. Possibly he could go 11 to the Tennessee Titans. Oh man, Garrett Wilson and Jackson Smith-Njigba back together would be an absolute problem. Absolute problem. But we don't necessarily need a receiver. If we're getting Aaron Rodgers, we need to protect him. Let's go Broderick Jones. Oh man, that would have been so fun to put those two back together. And now we have back-to-back picks. And we could have got DeJuan Jones right here at 42, and it would have been absolutely fine. I feel like I should have went Jackson Smith-Njigba. Because Corey, let's keep it a buck. Corey Davis ain't it. So you get Garrett Wilson, you get Jackson Smith-Njigba. Let Allen Lazard teach them the offense. You got Mecole Hardman for speed. But you also have Denzel Mims, who's another young guy that you drafted. in 2020. He kind of hasn't, really solidified himself on the roster yet, but I think it would have been really, really fun pairing Jackson Smith and Jigba back up with Garrett Wilson. I really do think that would have been really fun. All right, tackle and linebacker are our needs, so we're here at 42 and 43. Did my linebacker come off the board already? No, he didn't. Diane Henley, Trenton Simpson. I am more of a fan of Trenton Simpson than I am Henley. They're kind of the same. It says Henley scooted his way to a 4.54 40-yard dash, proved that his former wide receiver athleticism is still there. So they got him listed as a will. I mean, that's what we need. That's what we need. CJ Mosley is the middle, or Mike. We got Quincy Williams as the Sam. Man coverage heavy. I mean, also a will. 6'2", 235. I am a bigger Trenton Simpson fan than I am a Diane Henley. I'm going to go Trenton Simpson here at 42. You throw him next to CJ Mosley and Quinn Williams, and now we got problems. Okay. So where else are we looking to go? Defensive line, I think we're straight. I think we do need to find some help on the interior. Solomon Thomas, Quentin Williams as our tackles. We got Tanzel Smart behind them, but nothing else. Edge rushers, Carl Lawson, Jermaine Johnson, John Franklin Myers, Michael Clemens. A good 4. I think we need to, maybe add some there. I'm looking for Jermaine Johnson to take a leap here. BJ Ojolari is here, but he's more going to be 3-4 outside linebacker. We're not a 3-4, we're a 4-3. So he's not going to be a hand in the dirt end that we need. Could look at Felix Azuma. He's an every down edge. So, possible that we grab him here. 6'3", 255. Coming off the edge. That's possible. Do we get 2 linebackers? I don't think we go back-to-back linebacker. Do we go with somebody like Adetomiwa Adebawore here at 43? 6'2", 280. Position versatility inside, outside. But he ran a 4.49 at 282 pounds. Like, absolutely crazy combine. You don't want to fall in love with the measurables at the combine, but if you were going to, that would be one that you could fall in love with. I think we're solid at tight end. I see Luke Musgrave is still here. We have Tyler Conklin, CJ Uzomah, Kenny Yeboah, and Jeremy Ruckert, who is somebody we drafted in the 3rd round last year. Basically redshirt year due to injury. But maybe he can come in and prove that he is a starting tight end in this league and maybe battle this off season to, move up the depth chart. So taking a Luke Musgrave may be a little bit of overkill. I know we do need a center. Our next pick isn't until 112. So if we don't take the center now, we may not get, the quality talent that we may be looking for. John Michael Schmidt is still here too. And he's probably the best center in the class from Minnesota. Definitely need a center. all three of these guys, Wypler, Tippin, and JMS, are going to be gone by 112. So I'm going John Michael Schmidt here at 43. Definitely have to make sure that offensive line is a strength of ours to protect Aaron Rodgers, open up holes for Breece Hall, who's coming back from a torn ACL, keep our quarterback upright, keep our running back clean through those rushing lanes, and be able to, stay on the field and move the ball. It's okay. On the clock here at 112. One position that I was really looking at is going to be the corner position. We've got our star in Sauce Gardner. DJ Reed opposite him. I feel like he's more of a safety nickel corner. We have Michael Carter, Bryce Hall. But I think we can look to add some young talent there. They got Jartavius Martin listed as a corner. I think he's more safety. But 5'11", 194, and he ran a 4.4. He can play corner if you needed him to. Jacorian Bennett. Let's see where BPA is from. I mean, more edge rushers. Now, Isaiah McGuire, 6'4", 268. He's more of that 4-3 defensive end that we would be looking for as far as depth on the edge. Him and KJ Henry, both that 6'4", 250, 260 type. So you can get one of those guys here. We have Breece Hall, Zonathan Knight, Michael Carter, Ty Johnson. I think we're good there. I know when Aaron Rodgers comes, I think he's also trying to bring over oh my goodness, what's his name? Goodness gracious, what is... I'm drawing a blank on his name, and I shouldn't. I should know his name. Who's the wide receiver that Aaron brought back? Randall Cobb, that's it. I think he's trying to bring Randall Cobb over to the Jets as well. So wide receiver, I think we're good there. Garrett Wilson, Corey Davis, Alan Lazard, Mecole Hardman, Denzel Mims, add in Randall Cobb. That's 6 guys. You probably don't keep more than 6 or 7 on the roster anyway. I don't think that's any. I'm going to go Isaiah McGuire, depth in that pass rush. Two picks left. 143. That's us right here. Brought over Chuck Clark. Got Jordan Whitehead. Ashton Davis backing him up. I'm a big fan of Ronnie Hickman. So it's possible that they could look to bring him in as well. But again, maybe not, because they feel like they're pretty set at that position. Once we get to this area of the draft, based on how this board is set up, you see a lot of edge. You see Abdullah, Viliami Fehoko. Hope I said that right. Yaya from Louisville. Bunch of options. We got our tackle. We could get a guard for, again, offensive line depth. We have no depth behind Laken Tomlinson. Only Chris Glasser behind Elijah Vera Tucker. So we could get a guard for depth. We got our center. Could get a guard for depth. Jaret Patterson is on the board. I like Jaret Patterson at 143. It's a new name. that we've added to our draft pool here. Jaret Patterson at 143. Again, offensive line depth. Can never have enough of those guys. Guys get hurt. So you want to make sure that you have options if you need to roll out somebody. As a short-term replacement. Highlighted Ventrell Miller. Again, we got our linebacker earlier. Got Chaz Surratt, Hamsah Nasir. Oh, they still got Hamsah Nasir. That's my guy. I hope he can. I know we drafted a linebacker, but I hope he can find a way to crack that starting lineup. Hamsah Nasir from Florida State. That's my dude. Do we want to bring another linebacker in? I mean, we could definitely look at Ventrell Miller. 6'2", 232. Have him learn behind the CJ Mosley. Can he beat out a Jamien Sherwood for that backup Mike linebacker spot and special teams role? I definitely think so. I don't see why he couldn't. Do you want to bring in another tackle? We know. We drafted Broderick Jones. We have Mekhi Becton. Brought back Dwayne Brown. Dwayne Brown is 37. And Mekhi Becton is, I hate to put this label on a player, but would you consider Mekhi Becton at this point in his career injury prone? So yes, you bring in a Broderick Jones, but Dwayne Brown 37, Mekhi Becton injury prone. Do you look at getting another tackle late, and maybe having him on your roster or stashing him on your practice squad as the eventual swing tackle? So even if Dwayne Brown retires and Mekhi Becton stays healthy, you got Becton, you got Jones. But if something happens to either one of them, now you have a guy like Asim Richards from North Carolina, who you're grooming and developing as your swing tackle. I don't see that for Adam Pankey. I don't see that for Eric Smith. And I don't see that for Greg Sinnett. All older veterans as well. Yeah, I think you get your center. I think you get your guard depth. And I think you find your swing tackle of the future potentially. And you get 2 tackles this draft and only 6 picks. But I feel like everything else, especially if you bring in a top flight quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, everything else is there. All the pieces are there. I think you have to account for keeping that quarterback upright. I think I'm a fan of taking Asim Richards here. Because there's not much need anywhere else. That's my logic behind it. Definitely want the Jets fans to chime in and see what they think. Of the 6 picks, 4 of them were offensive linemen. Of the 6 picks, 4 of them were offensive linemen. PFF didn't like this draft, and it makes sense of where we selected certain players. Based on average draft position, they didn't have Broderick Jones going that high. So I could have went Jackson Smith and Jigba and got an A+. But is that necessarily a need, and does that fix our problem? No, we need somebody to come in and play right tackle. Is Max Mitchell the option at right tackle? No. And I think if you can get someone who's better, like a Broderick Jones, you go and get that. Linebacker, maybe not a need, but Jamien Sherwood is listed as our will linebacker. Is Trenton Simpson better than Jamien Sherwood right now? I would say so. So now you have a linebacker group, starting core of C.J. Mosley, Quincy Williams, and Trenton Simpson. You definitely need a center. If you didn't get him at 43, you weren't going to get him at 12, at 112. He was going to be off the board. And John Michael Schmidt, possibly the best center in this class. So your average draft position doesn't have him going here. But if you're a team that needs a center, and there isn't a first round, there isn't a Landon Dickerson in this draft. If you don't get the best center in the draft at 43, now this is also where you could see a trade back, right? They have 2 picks back to back, 42 and 43. Maybe you stay here, maybe you trade back. If you take one, either 42 or 43, and you trade back, and you get additional 3rd round picks. Maybe you take 13, you don't get Broderick Jones at 13. Maybe you trade back later in the 1st round and you get a Broderick Jones. Or if you don't get Broderick Jones, maybe you get a Darnell Wright trading back in the 1st round. But again, this is a team that really does not have a lot of holes. The only problem with this team is the quarterback situation. If you fix that quarterback situation with Aaron Rodgers, this is a really, really good team that doesn't have a lot of holes. So despite the grades, especially early on, and I mean, we ended up with a B- because we got an A for Isaiah McGuire at 112. We got a B- for guard Jaret Patterson at 143. And we got an A- for taking a Sim Richards at pick 207 in round 6. So we get our starter in Broderick Jones. If Mekhi Becton is still going through injuries, Dwayne Brown, 37, declines and is not able to perform how we think. Again, we bring in a Sim Richards, build him up, and maybe he's our swing tackle in the event that one of those 2 guys go down and we don't skip a beat. We're able to continue to protect our quarterback. Obviously, we need depth if anything happens to our interior guys, Tomlinson or Vera Tucker. So we have Jaret Patterson to add to that guard depth. Again, we needed a center. No offense to Wes Schweitzer, but I don't think he's our option at center. So we get, again, the best center in the class there. So 4 of our 6 picks are offensive linemen. 2, we get edge help on the defensive line. I wanted to address the defensive tackle situation. I didn't get around to doing that with how the board was set up. And again, I think you can move back in the draft, either from 13 or take one of these 2nd round picks to pick up, a later 2nd or in a 3rd or maybe a couple of 3rds or whatever the case may be if you want to attack some of those other positions. Jets fans, tap in. Despite the grades, let me know if you like this draft. Let me know if you think my thought process was proper for your team situation. Let me know what you like, what you didn't like. Let me know what you would do differently for your New York Jets in the 2023 NFL Draft. Sound off in the comment section. I'll be checking those out and responding to you guys accordingly. Love and appreciate everybody for taking the time to pull this video and watch this mock draft for the New York Jets. If you're new to the channel, do a couple of things before you head on out. 1, smash that like button. 2, if this is your first time here at Mo's Knows, welcome. Smash that subscribe button. Give me a subscription. Become a part of the Mo's Knows family. Listen, once your family, I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Then take another 2 seconds, hit that bell icon so that you get notified when new content drops here at Mo's Knows. Again, love and appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next episode. Take it easy.